Hi guys, this is FD for Search5.tv once more back with another video, and today we are going to touch on an update from Kilt protocol with one of their collaborations. They've had a pilot project, and now that pilot project has been completed. We are going to do an update on that pilot project. For those who are not in the know, Kilt protocol is a parachain on both Kusama and Polkadot, and Kilt protocol is a blockchain identity protocol for issuing self-sovereign anonymous verifiable credentials and decentralized identifiers or DIDs. So the pilot project we are going to be looking at today involves the decentralized identifiers or DIDs. Before we proceed, guys, please be aware that what I'm sharing with you here today is not financial advice. These are just my own opinions and how I see things within the crypto space. Please do your own research and make sure you listen or you consider more than one source of information. And for those who've been following us for quite a while, you will also be aware that we do hold Kilt, the Kilt token, as one of our 2K to 100K challenge portfolio, and we will be holding our Kilt tokens until the next bull run, and then we'll decide when we come out. So if you're interested, check the links down below. Watch a couple of our videos on Kilt protocol where we carried out a DYOR risk evaluation as well as some various updates we've done for Kilt protocol to date. So the pilot project is called the DENA blockchain pilot project. DENA spelled DENA, DENA blockchain pilot, and the project on machine identities led by DENA, the German Federal Energy Agency, was finished successfully, Kilt protocol reports. Kilt served as a core partner in this project by supplying the machine identities and demonstrating the utility of a blockchain protocol in a highly regulated environment like the energy sector. So you can actually see some real-world use cases, at play here. I think this is quite a strong case study for Kilt protocol. Anyway, the DENA project was an important milestone for the Kilt protocol team. Decentralized identifiers and verifiable credentials and Kilt in general are ready for large-scale institutional use cases that fulfill requirements from regulators. Blockchain technology is finding its way into the industry, which is always a great move. This is why these projects and products are being launched. It's so that they can be used on a massive scale. As an industry, as players within the industry, we are seeking mass adoption, and this is just one area where if you come up with the right project and the right products, mass adoption is in the wings, it's waiting. During the DENA pilot project, Kilt protocol deployed a complete Kilt node on a Raspberry Pi based smart meter, demonstrating the efficiency of parity substrate based blockchains. So for those who have come across the Raspberry Pi, it's a miniaturized computer. So if you can use something like that to deploy the Kilt protocol products within the energy sector, that is huge, and that is probably going to revolutionize the smart meter industry. Those companies that supply the smart meters, it's going to change all that. If anything, it's going to make it cheaper, so we do fight for that. So in response, DENA released a report on its pilot project on digital machine identities as the basic building block for an automated energy system. Kilt protocol was part of the project, providing decentralized machine identities registered on the Kilt blockchain and showing how blockchain technology can be used inside a highly regulated environment. So again, to some of my friends out there within the crypto space who are against regulation, here look at the example being set by Kilt protocol. They are using regulations as a way to get into an industry. So without regulations, guys, we may not be able to break into some of the areas we are seeking to break. If we want to keep this as a closed industry, we can do so, but don't expect it to grow any further than where it is. If anything, it will probably shrink because some investors who came in seeking for wider adoption, they will leave the market and then the industry shrinks. So I think we need to revisit the whole idea of regulations and see how we can work with one, existing regulations, and two, where there are no regulations, how can we integrate new regulations or come up with fit for purpose regulations that we can work alongside or work within. Without regulations, guys, mass adoption will prove hard to come by. Kilt here are leading the pack. They're actually demonstrating that it is the right way to go. We need regulations in the crypto industry. So Kilt collaborated on this initiative with DENA and with industry leaders from the energy sector, the digital economy, and science, including Energy Web Foundation, Parity Technologies, ENBW, EON, Riddle and Code, Oli Systems, nanometers and 50 hertz. For those who are not aware what the DENA project is, here's a brief background. Government agencies and industry are increasingly looking to blockchain solutions to help achieve effective and compliant digitalization. The modern energy industry faces challenges in coordinating an increasing number of energy-producing, energy-consuming devices into the grid infrastructure, from energy plants to electric vehicles, heat pumps, and storage systems. DENA launched the Future Energy Lab pilot project in 2019 to explore these issues. The goal was to create a blockchain machine identity ledger, or in short BMIL, a decentralized digital registry that aimed to coordinate and connect devices and energy plants across the German energy system. The project incorporated the current smart meter gateway technology and required creating uniform digital identities of energy systems. It was designed as a three-pronged pilot project to demonstrate the technical, economic, and regulatory feasibility of three variants. The three variants are as follows. Number one, storing it on the smart meter gateway. Number two, storing the identity characteristics on the device itself. And three, storing the identity characteristics in the cloud. That's cloud computing for those of you who might not be missing that. All variants needed to meet governmental standards of data security and protection, scalability, and privacy in a cost-effective way. Kilt protocol was integrated for the first two variants, with the identities to be generated and stored directly on the devices. So variant 1 and 2, which is storing data characteristics on smart meter gateway and storing identity characteristics directly on the device, those were the ones that Kilt protocol was working with. Digital machine identities with Kilt protocol. As context for the Kilt integration with DENA, it's important to understand Kilt identities framework, which has two key components: a decentralized identifier, or DID, which uniquely identifies an entity or device as a fingerprint does for humans, and verifiable, revocable credentials that are confirmed by trusted parties or attested. In this way, a digital identity can be built for people, machines, services, and anything that identities can be built on. Standardized digital identities for machines form the basic building blocks for an automated and reliable energy system. For this pilot with DENA, the machine identities each contained a decentralized identifier, or DID, which uniquely identified the device and the characteristics, attributes, or properties that made this machine different from others. These were attached to the DID, or decentralized identifier, in the form of digital certificates or verifiable credentials. These credentials show the static and dynamic properties of the device. And Kilt protocol is pleased to be part of the DENA Future Energy Lab project, making a practical and effective contribution to current energy challenges, showing how blockchain technology can be used in a highly regulated and real-world environment. The following is a technical description of the project, including the technical integration of Kilt, and I'll also leave a link, which is a link to the report, which is written in German. DENA will publish an English version shortly. So DENA project, the summary. The BMIL pilot project aimed to close an important gap that is currently a barrier to implementing a real-time energy economy using the smart meter gateway and blockchain technology: the lack of digital identities for energy systems. One of the key elements was to agree on and test uniform digital identity standards, namely DIDs, or decentralized identifiers, and verifiable credentials. The DID enables end-to-end encryption between digital agents, allowing data to be exchanged between participants and systems without the need for a centralized data silo, by establishing a blockchain machine identity ledger, in short BMIL, that allows assets to register their identity, their unique DID or decentralized identifier, and verifiable credentials. These digital self-sovereign and decentralized device identities were set up and either stored and anchored on the device itself or via a digital twin in the cloud, depending on the variant. Transmission of the digital identity was implemented in regular operation via the smart gateway infrastructure and could be linked to the BMIL through the installation of a BMIL compatible smart meter. And now to the Kilt integration to the DENA project. The integration of Kilt protocol into the BMIL project is summarized using the example of the device-centric identity management in conjunction with a dedicated controllable local system, or CLS device, the OLI box. The integration was the same for both variants. As the goal was to achieve a high degree of decentralization, the identities were stored directly on the respective devices and anchored on the Kilt blockchain. In the first step, the private public key pair is generated on the box. The OLI or OLI box's crypto chip provides the random input for generating the key pair to establish the necessary security and connect the key pair to the box. It gets too technical from here. Then the identifier, or DID, is generated implemented on the device and anchored on the blockchain. The decentralized identifier document is signed by the box in order to link it to the DID or decentralized identifier and is then stored in the DID store. Through the claimer application, the credential workflow is implemented on the OLI box or OLI box. It implements the claiming properties, the requesting of a credential, the storing of an issued credential on the box, and the sharing of credentials with verifiers. It can either share the whole credential or only single attributes via selective disclosure if the verifier does not need to know the whole credential. To ensure privacy, the credentials are not stored on the blockchain. Credentials remain with the device, the OLI box, and are only anchored on the blockchain as a hash representing the data by the issuer of the credential. The anchored credential on the blockchain does not allow any conclusions to be drawn about the content and owner of the credential. Via the hash, only verifiers to which the credentials were disclosed can check the validity of that credential on the blockchain. Okay, that's quite interesting. You're actually seeing blockchain technology in real life being implemented in the real world. This is quite incredible. That's great stuff. The different actors, for example, the application of the Energy Web Foundation to pre-qualifying device identities for different use cases through VC-based role assignments and others, communicate with each other via the Kilt messaging service using encrypted message. So Kilt messaging service, it kind of reminds you of the cross-consensus messaging that is one of the flagships of the Polkadot and Kusama blockchain signature technologies. So there you go. And the DENA project conclusions are digital identities built around decentralized identifiers and verifiable credentials provide the new standards needed for identity for government projects going forward. This standardization ensures uniformity, contributes to efficiency and security, and allows system services to be provided and called up fully automatically. Future research will build on these findings and create services and applications to create energy efficient. This is what you want to hear, okay? A crypto project working with governmental organizations using a regulatory framework to deliver on real-world use cases. That is what you want to see. That can only be commended. We vouch for that here at Sage5.tv. This is why we're in this industry. We want to make an impact across the world. We want to change people's lives. If government organizations are comfortable with decentralization, who are we within the crypto industry to say no, we don't want any government participation within this industry? If there are regulations and they are all for decentralization, hats off to them. And well done to Kilt for participating in this pilot project with DENA in Germany. Anyway, guys, that was it on this update on Kilt protocol and their recently completed pilot project with DENA. Until next time, guys, this is FD for Sage5.tv signing out. Bye for now.